let's face it, social media has consumed us to a point where we're starting to get sick of each other's faces. Have you ever come to a point in life where you've wanted to unfollow someone off social media? If you have, hey, this podcast is for you. We're not judging. We want to explore that little conversation. Is it okay? Is it the same as unfriending that person? Is it the same as cutting that person out of your life? Hey, we don't have the answers. We're just asking questions. Welcome back to the Table Talk Podcast.
Hey!
Back
Beep,
here
beep, 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 beep.
Who got quarantine now? Raise up your hands.
It's Jeremy.
I love it. Jeremy.
Welcome back, guys. It's a brand new week because that's when the podcast comes out.
Okay.
If you
Another
guys have
2 weeks.
yeah,
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been
since the
two
last-
weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not been easy. I think everyone's slightly jittery with the rise in numbers. Not just Singapore as well. These guys usually are quite under control, but right now, if you look at it,
Freaking out of
it's
control,
all over the
man.
place. These guys predicted that in another 200 days, the whole country will get infected. And we're
But-
just talking to Jeremy about it. Is it really a bad thing?
Is
At
it?
this point, right? It might be a better thing because we have vaccinations and all. Like complications are low. So like looking at it, even judging now, right? The amount of category 1 and 2 cases, which are basically the low, not the crazy cases, the one that need to go to hospital, maybe minor cough or flu, is quite high.
Right.
So I would say maybe even in Singapore, maybe a better healthcare system might be better.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay.
It's such a bittersweet thing to talk about because personally, we've all been affected by losing people through COVID, and now we are let's get everyone infected. And the back of my brain is but the people we've lost, but at the same time, the people lost, don't waste all these people, the frontliners and everything, So in a way, it's such a crazy thing for everyone to be saying now, okay, everyone, I guess if you're getting COVID, you got it, stay at home, embrace it. It is what it is now. And it's a weird thing to hear, but
Yeah.
at some place it's also the common flu and where it went, right? Everyone just got to build immunity to it. But hey, never forget the road we took to get here. Speaking of forgetting, speaking of forgetting, Menu, that's your segue, not mine. Menu.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of forgetting.
Forget.
Sometimes you just want to forget the freaking faces of social media. Okay, just between the three of us, raise your hands if you've hit or muted someone on Instagram. Either their stories or posts.
say less.
Stories.
Yeah.
Oh my
Stories.
gosh.
Dude, I think the pinnacle of it for me was during the first MCO. I was like, yo, man, every day cannot be Dalgona coffee. I was about to throw up, man. It's like,
Oh shit.
what are y'all doing?
Am I muted?
I'm not gonna lie. What really got to me in the first MCO is everyone who's trying to hustle. I had to get it out of my life. I'm like, please let me be sad. Let me be hopeless for a while. I don't need to see you waking up at 5 a.m. every morning during the MCO and trying to make it work. That I feel like that was overwhelming during the pandemic. And I just okay, I'm done with some people, I guess. I see where you guys are. But that's just me. I'm sorry people have unfollowed. No, I'm not sorry. It's for my own good as well. That's for my own good as well. Oh.
It really is. And okay, maybe that's where we want to jump right into, right? So when we look at social media, there's just a ludicrous amount of things that's happening, right? People's updates and then real-time happenings. And then even this past week, right? One of our deputy, if I'm not wrong, is the women welfare ministers, right? One of them
I cannot.
She was saying that it was if you guys don't follow Malaysian politics,
It's not even politics already at this point.
You're already missing out on just the most entertaining shenanigans ever. This was in Parliament, yeah. She was saying something to the effect of how husbands, need to treat their wives gently but with a firm hand.
Okay, so to correct you,
touch,
it's not
is it?
in Parliament. It was just
It
a
wasn't
video on
Parliament, sorry.
social media.
Oh,
You'd be like,
okay.
this is how you should treat your wives. Yeah, you may continue that part.
It
Yeah.
she said you you have to touch your wives with a firm touch.
Beat your stubborn wives gently to discipline them for unruly behavior. That's basically what it is.
I am just I don't know. Okay.
Oh.
You know us.
And this is rich, you're coming from a woman, right? This is rich. This is...
Dude, some of the comments set me off. Some of them were like, she needs to get some of that hard love. And I'm like, oh my God, you can't say
you
that.
You got to comb the comments looking for maybe that's what she likes, not everyone else.
Is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't know. You know, we don't usually go into this into detail, but that made me feel so sad because there's been a huge increase of domestic violence cases since like the whole pandemic, right? Yeah. People locked down and people are at home.
A bit mad.
And this lady just comes out saying stuff like this. This is also, mind you, the same lady who says that wives, to make your husbands happy, you should speak to them in a Doraemon voice.
Hey, no, this is a different lady.
It's a different lady. Is it?
It's a different lady.
They got rid of the Doraemon lady.
Okay, both of them be smoking the same shit because I don't know what they're on about.
They're good friends.
And I don't know, it's stuff like this that just make you think twice about like, what are you saying? Does it really bring value? Can you check yourself? And again, let's just drop it at that. I don't want to go into too much detail. Obviously, we don't even have all the full details here. I just know that it made me unhappy and I was quite angry. But what do you guys do when you see someone post stuff on Instagram? I guess Instagram is probably the best place to see it, right? And Facebook. Facebook, we know people be sharing memes all day long. But then there are people who also share like really in-depth personal life stories that nobody's asking for. How do you guys deal with that? Like, do you guys just scroll past, or do you even just kind of like, I don't know, respond, engage with the content?
I feel like Ming Hai would.
Jeremy, come on.
I feel like Ming Hai would comment, but I don't like if you want to write and rant about your life and how shit your day was, or maybe like someone who bullied you. Sure, I mean like I would like acknowledge it, but I don't think I will comment. Like unless it's like something really like pressing that needs to be like replied to. But if it's just a regular like, oh my God, why are people so like, you know, this kind of thing, or they're going on and on about their lives, I think I you know, it's an open world. Yeah. It's a free space.
Yeah.
Go ahead and post what you want.
Yeah.
I would just sit in the back corner and just observe like a spectator.
I mean, it's free speech, right? Like in essence, I 100% support the notion that everyone has a right to post whatever they want on social media, because it's your social media. It's like, hey, you go out into public, you can wear whatever clothes you want, right? You can choose to go to whatever store you want. But if you're going to go out in public and you're going to wear offensive clothes, or like you're going to go out nude, I also reserve my right to protect my own freedom of my eyes, right? To tell you off, right? So when I see things like this, in one essence, I will fall back to the, okay, everyone's got their own story. I don't know where you've been. You know, I don't know the chains you have, whatever lah. So I reserve the right to think the best of you, that maybe you're going through something that is unseen, that I don't know, that you need validation for, you know, online. 1 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with this. Bye-bye. And I just like, you know, don't see this story for a few days, or like mute, or like, you know, don't tell the fella. Because like, I feel like everyone gets too offended for a lot of things. And the very simple thing is just like, just don't see lah. No one's asking you to follow, right? That's like the basis of so many stupid things online. Everyone feels like, oh, you're pushing this into my face. Well, it's time for me to critique you. No need lah. Just unfollow only lah. I mean, your in the past 2 years, your own personal sanity is so much more valuable than trying to create this stupid kind of problems for yourself. But that's what I feel lah. I tell you.
For maybe for an in-depth, you know, case study, right? What was the trigger that made you hide or unfollow that person?
Oh, I mean, we spoke it before, right? Like MCO, hustle day, gotta achieve, gotta step up. Good morning world. COVID might stop you, but it won't stop me. Gotta achieve beyond. I'm like, people are freaking dying around you, and you wanna smash that today. I'm like, smash what? Literally, you know. And then that's the first trigger. The second trigger is like those people who like, COVID, don't do this, don't do that. Then after that, before you know it, they all go out and go here, go there already. I can't with this kind of people. And that's just like instant bye-bye. I'm good. But I'm glad to say I don't have a lot of these people on my Instagram. I follow people that I actually like, to see and enjoy their content, Other than that, I actually forget to follow people, so I don't have many new followers. So I'm very protected in this realm. Maybe you guys can give me better examples of this because I'm good. My small Instagram bubble is protected. No, not gonna lie. I want to open Instagram right now just to check. Jeremy, what about you?
I personally, okay, I don't, like, if you want to post whatever you want to post, I'm generally fine. I do have a few people muted. The first one that I remember I muted is because they kept selling their same product every day on the social media.
Okay.
So I don't want, okay, hey, you can sell your own stuff, whatever product, your insurance or whatever, go ahead, but I just gonna mute you so I don't get a recurring spam. You know what I'm saying? So I've stopped, I just followed the person, just, as niceties. We will talk about that later, I think. But I muted their stories. Another one is a person who's like motivational quotes every day with his face on it. I'm like, I don't know about that. So
Motivational quotes with his face.
I need to see this. Can you send this to me after this? I need to see this.
Dude, this is some
I don't know if it's still there. But at that point, like, I was like, okay. And it got to the point where I'm like, I really don't want to see your like face every day with a motivational quote.
Yeah.
So that was where I muted. Yeah.
Like you can only have so much like eat, pray, love like quotes with coffee pictures every morning. After a while, you get sick of that shit, man. For me, it's the same. I think the reason why I unfollowed certain people or hit some of their stories was okay. Like the couple of people I unfollowed, right? Like they kept yammering on about the same thing over and over again. Like, oh, look at me, I have achieved this, and I'm like, I'm not the kind who doesn't celebrate your achievements. I'm like, I'm really happy when people achieve stuff. But if that's your whole identity, if that's the only thing that your branding is made of, it gets a bit repetitive and stale. So that's why I'm out, and if everything to you is a way that you are showing off how you're successful, then it's a bit dumb. Like your Instagram become like, I mean, to be fair, everyone's Instagram today is like a CV portfolio already lah. There's no more personal touch already. It's like everything you do is like curated and it's like it's you don't need to ask for someone's CV or like bio. You just go to their Instagram and you know their whole life already. And I feel like that's why I get a bit like annoyed at it. So that's why I'll like hide or like unfollow stuff. But I think the epitome of how ludicrous this is, right, is a couple of actually just a week ago or pretty recent on Facebook. There was this viral post that went around. Someone messaged their friend. Right, this is next level.
Not even a friend at this point.
I mean, ex-friend. Okay, so how this went down was let's call it person A and B. Right, person A messages person B and tells him,
okay, I'll be person A. Then you reply. Yeah.
Okay. So
this is crazy because
A.
I'm reading this for the first time. But y'all do the acting. Okay.
I'm the person who messages first. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry to unfriend you on Facebook, but I just can say I no longer see you as a friend anymore, as my friend anymore. You?
Question mark. What's wrong with you? Is it mental breakdown?
No lah, it's just me decide to unfriend you on Facebook long time ago. No offense.
And then crying smiley face, thumbs up. Just last question. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm completely fine. Thanks for checking out. Reason for me to do that last time is because your Facebook posts too many funny stuff and I'm a bit of the serious type. Very difficult to click with your frequency. So unfriend you is my way of not seeing your posts in my Facebook newsfeed. Hence why I did that a while ago.
Alright. Have a great life ahead. Hope my posts didn't offend you.
No lah, it's just because I'm the one likes to see quality content. So your Facebook post just didn't click with me. And a bit cannot tahan sometimes on and off. See that in newsfeed. So I decide to unfriend because once unfriend, your post wouldn't appear in my newsfeed. I'm not the type who likes jokes and humors. I'm the more reflective and deep thinking type. That's why frequency a bit different than yours. Don't worry, so far none offended me.
Yeah. This was the exchange that took place between a person and his or her ex-friend, obviously.
Are they still friends or just not Facebook friends?
I feel like it's
over.
like, it's
over.
over.
Oh my god.
There's so much to unpack here, right? Like let's kick off with the fact. I mean, this whole time in the podcast, we were talking about how and what the criteria would be if you were to unfollow somebody. And I think that's valid. I mean, whatever your reason could be, it's fine. It's like you don't owe anybody a follow. You don't owe anyone like a like, right, or being friends on socials. I'm not even friends with like my parents on socials. I
purposely don't.
I think I am. I'm
I
not
tried
sure.
my best, but I had to at the end because my mom and dad were asking me why are we friends. Ayo.
But here's where I think like it brings it to a new level. Let's say you do unfollow or unfriend somebody. Why in God's good green earth would you text that person and let them know?
You can. I just want to say, like, if anyone comes across these pictures, right? Maybe Jeremy, when you post like social content for takeaway, right? And I'll post this week. You can put it in a carousel just to show people this post. Alright, you can
and then ask people what
you can literally feel the personalities come out of both these messages. Like this,
I can see.
He's so pensive, and the other guy is like, haha, okay. It's like it's literally the reason. I don't think he cares though, to be honest. This guy is he's so honest, but also very weird.
Nobody asked. Nobody asked.
I can just say I no longer see you as my friend. Wow. Because you're too jovial.
No. My favorite part is, my favorite part of why we're not friends anymore is because I'm the one who likes to see quality content
every day of my life. If you're not spouting
so
quality
your Facebook
content,
post just didn't click with me.
If you're posting trash, I'm done. I want quality. I want
our friendship is based off the exchange of quality content.
Performance.
I don't subscribe to Netflix.
Imagine, right, that people rate like your performance on social media based on like the memes you post. Like how bad, like what memes you post, right? I'll be grading you like, that's a B plus meme.
You're
a C minus.
Blocked for 3 days.
Oh, that's a bad.
Wow, that's mad. I can't imagine people who do. I just literally cannot understand this perspective. It blows my mind.
I'm still like a bit like trying to figure out like okay, there's a sequence of events that happen that even if you look into the time, right, it's a bit crazy, the timeline. So this person is like, I unfriend you, right? And then you find out that, I unfriend you on Facebook long time ago.
Yeah. Why you bring up now? No?
Like he didn't just hit unfriend. And then message him at his convenience. This was like brewing,
premeditated.
A long time.
Maybe he was sitting on too much guilt already. I gotta let you know.
He woke up that morning, right, and was like, "Today is the day. I need to let him know.
I need to know he needs to know he's been cut off. He needs to know
he's been cut off. He needs to know that his quality content has not been there. It's not been quality.
It's been deteriorating over a span of time.
And I was looking at the timestamps here, right? What's interesting to me is that at 8. So like this kicks off at 7:29. Person B replies at 8:06. So that's about half an hour, right? And then after that, person A replies just like that.
Immediately.
Right? He's holding the phone, right? No, 8:06 he replies, no offense. 8:07 the friend replies again. Just last question, are you okay? That's 8:11, right? So 8:07 he smiles. And then maybe he's thinking a bit like, and then about 8:10 he's like, okay, no worries, bro. I just want to check, are you okay?
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
He again replies at 8:11, right? I'm completely fine. Thanks for checking out. And then 2 minutes passes by. The conversation could have ended there. At 8:13, he decides to give him the real reason. The thesis of why he has been unfriended. This cracks me up, man.
He's been thinking about it for a while. You can. This is like that literal depiction of thinking too much and literally not thinking about anything at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, he's been sitting it. He's felt the guilt. He's felt the weight on his shoulders, and I just love the other friend. He literally doesn't give a shit. He's just
the
like,
friend,
okay.
just if anything is like, are you okay? You know, like
caring.
That's just like extending a helping hand.
Poignant guy.
And
lost
then
a good friend.
8:13. Hence why I did that a while ago. And then
when you bring out the hands.
At 8:13. All right, have a great life. 10 minutes later,
I think there's
person
probably
says,
some
yeah.
like conversation there.
Oh yeah, for
that,
sure.
That probably.
But I don't know,
didn't
like, is it necessary to reach out to let someone know that they've been unfriended or unfollowed, or like you guys don't feel that they are posting quality content? Because that one is like bordering the performance review already. Like I don't know if that's like for us to tell them. You know?
Yeah, it's like glowing to your neighbor, like, hey neighbor, I'm so sorry. Just want to let you know, I've decided to close my curtains facing your house.
Yeah. Because I really don't like the
I
color of
can't
your house.
stand the happiness that you are, inside. No, you're not disturbing me. You're not singing anything. I just can't look at you anymore.
Yeah. I'm okay.
But
I'm okay, but I just really
sadly
don't like
to inform you. I cannot understand this.
Would you, like Jeremy, would you tell somebody that you've unfollowed them or unfriended them?
I don't know. Like, I've done many unfriendings before, but like, I'm not like, I'm not gonna go to you. Like, it's just starting some insight. You're gonna like start something that didn't exist.
Yeah.
If I unfollowed, like, let's be real. No one knows, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some apps to track, but like, no one knows whether or not who unfollowed you on, like, there's no updated list of who unfriended you recently on Facebook.
It's funny you say that, Jeremy. I have to say, I think people who use that unfollow app are crazy. Sorry, I'm not going to put it out here.
Can I? Yeah, if you use the unfollow app to track who unfollows you deserve to be unfollowed.
I feel like you have sociopathic tendencies. Sorry, I don't mean that. Do I? I don't know. I think that is mad. That's some next level paranoia or like insecurity. Okay, sorry. Let's go. Anyway.
So I don't think like you're going to start something that didn't exist, and I'm not like that person that you're unfriending would care.
Right.
Like if because most of the time you're unfriending someone who you probably don't keep in contact with much.
Yeah.
Right, or someone from the past.
Correct.
So highly likely
you want to kick off a conversation
Yeah.
to be the bearer of bad news. Like what the heck? Yeah, it's so dumb.
Like this guy just going on his normal Monday, Dude comes up, yo, we're not friends. I'm like, didn't notice, but okay. It's like
why do you need to tell me this? Just unfollow quietly lah. But like when you exit the lecture theatre or when you exit an event, you don't put your head up. Hey, but I'm leaving, yeah. Don't need, just walk out lah, bodoh.
Shut up, let people listen to the lecture lah. My God.
Yeah.
But let's turn the tables around, right? Because I do know like this happens in the reverse way. Like we have our teammates in our team that has like people messaging them when they unfollowed the person.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like we have people. So I will unfollow someone and that person will message me. Oh, why did you unfollow
They
me?
have the unfollow app. That's all.
But like
that's mad.
That's a different perspective. But I feel like these people are a bit like questionable as well.
I think human nature, right? Like if let's say Jeremy, let's say you unfollowed me and I found out, right? Maybe I found out by like heading over to your profile or something and I see like
the follow back or something is not there.
Yeah, like no, that means I don't even follow you, bro.
Oh, okay.
Something like maybe I go over and then I realize that your numbers you only following 3 people or something,
Yeah.
And then you unfollow me, but you're still talking to me. For me, it's be like, okay. I guess honestly, I do equate some level of like following on socials to friendship in a certain point of view. So if you did unfollow me, I would actually like, because we're close, I would be like, hey Jeremy, did I do anything to offend you? Are you okay? Like, are you alright? And whatever your answer will be, right? To me, it's just be like to understand your perspective. So for people, it'll be like, oh yeah, I just want to do a social detox cleanse. Or like shit like that. If you're social detox cleanse, then just get off social media. Like, shit like that. Honestly, like just the amount of crap that people say. But if you say like, yeah, I decided not to follow you because I only want to follow my family. Or I don't like the stuff that you're posting up. It's too much. I accept. But then I will follow up and be like, just want to check, are we still friends? Like I will just ask you like, do you still consider me a friend? Yes or no? Then I respect that. But like, have you? I don't know. Like, do you guys feel like there's? I know Minghan guards his social media quite well. But a very good example is to see how many people you guys follow on Instagram. So let's just jump
on mine as well.
Yeah.
277 people. Time to trim the fat, guys. Hold on, I don't like that number. That's a lot of people.
Jeremy, how many people do you follow?
I follow 550. It's quite a lot.
It's quite interesting because I follow 1219 accounts.
Oh, that's a lot.
I feel like I gotta cut it down to 77 people, guys. I don't know. I know when we started the social media game, right? I remember a lot of people talking about followers and stuff like that as well. And like, I hated the fact that it was currency, like follow back, follow back, follow me, follow you. And I'm just like, I follow you if I want to. It doesn't mean I hate you if I don't follow you. But you know, the best thing about social media and people who bask in influencer fame and everything, a lot of people are insecure, right? And they akin these kind of things to the quality of your friendship, right? And when people are just like, it's fine. It's the same thing as like, I like you, but I don't like you liking chocolate ice cream. So I just won't eat chocolate ice cream. I could be allergic to chocolate, you know, that kind of thing. But no, it's like, oh, if you like me, you will like chocolate ice cream too. How dare you, my friendship, you know? It's like that kind of thing.
That's whack.
I did go through a lot of this because I think in the first few years, when we were all very new, right? It was also very worrying, like, oh shucks, does that mean if I don't follow you, then I'm risking networking or like I'm risking, you know, building bridges and making friends? So like from very early on, it was sort of like ingrained into you that, oh, this is important. You know, you have to
like
be
a social
currency. Yeah, it's your if I do this for you, it's only courtesy to follow them back. And what I learned after that was like the courtesy brings in so much anxiety and stress into your life because you start following and seeing things that you don't care about, number one, and you might not necessarily agree with, number two. And that just and seeing that every single day just screws you into like, I can't figure it out. It just does something to your head because as a person, you would usually surround yourself with things that you agree with or are tolerable to you, right? Yeah. But social media totally screws that up. Yeah.
It's like if you translate that to also like people in your life that you want to like. I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, right? Like not like in the sense of like, oh, you cut out people for the sake of cutting them out. Sometimes we do that with our Instagram profile, right? Like we trim down the number of people because like there's a lot of like inactive accounts. There's a lot of things that you follow in the past that you're not interested in anymore. So for me, I also follow hashtags. I don't just follow accounts, right? Like I follow certain like tech or guitar hashtags. So every time you follow a hashtag, right? Every time there's a mass or like a big engagement post that goes up with the hashtag, you will see it on your feed. So for example, like guitar gear or keyboards or technology, I would have those in my feed. And recently, like I think over lunch on the weekend, I unfollowed like 11, 12, 15 not active accounts and hashtags. So that's quite interesting for me to do, right? But how do you apply that also to toxic friends and people in your circles? Because more and more we're talking about, you know, the whole mental health and having a good support circle, having people who are able to support you. But sometimes their support might be like the way they're doing it is toxic. How do you cut them out? How do you then also, like, if you cut out toxic people from your life, do you need to tell them? Are you being toxic if you tell them? That's a hard one. Oh, I'm just throwing the questions.
What a risky question to ask in this day where everyone's offended easily.
We'll probably get cancelled for this.
Oh man, okay, that's tough. That's tough.
Like Mingan, like if Jeremy, if you had a toxic friend, right? You know they're toxic. They're like they're like asking you to, like, you know, like diss your mother, right?
Okay.
Set your house on fire, like just some toxic. I don't know what toxic shit is nowadays, lah. Like everything is like toxic, lah. Like they're gaslighting. I'm just gonna use buzzwords, gaslighting you, and like, you know, like things, right? Yeah. Things. And then you know you gotta cut them out. So let's say you make the decision to stop hanging out with them. You stop hanging out with and be in that sort of like the echo chamber of like just negativity. Do you have to like let the person know, hey, I'm not talking to you anymore because you're toxic?
Yeah.
I think there's like two dimensions to this, right? It's not a one size fits all answer, definitely, but also it also depends on who, like how close you are with this person. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who have toxic friends who are really close to them. Yeah. Right? Like they hang out on the regulars. So like it's gonna be hard to just, hey, I don't want to like hang out with you. Like these kind of things aren't easy conversations for people to just have with that friend. Yeah. But if it's for example, like a person who is like you don't hang out with much, but you do like occasionally hang out with, I think there are ways to go about it. Just slowly like, going, disappearing. You don't have to force yourself to hang out just because they're your friend. I think that's the mindset like some people have, like, oh, you must hang out with that person because they're your friend, right? So that's something that needs to be a bit shifted to kind of deal with these toxic people in my own thoughts. Yeah,
100%. If people don't ask you, you're not in the place, don't say lah. What's my relationship with you? Am I close to you? If I'm not close to you, then I don't talk lah. But I think the tough part about that now is that I was reading some stuff and I was listening to some podcasts as well. The danger about free speech right now in this era is that, everyone wants free speech, but along free speech has to come criticism and the risk to being offended, because that is what grows society. You need to be offended. You need to argue. But people now can't deal.
Yeah.
They can't deal with that, right? So is there any benefit in telling someone that you might be toxic? No, there's literally none, unless you are like a friend or very close and you have proper evidence and a perspective. I don't think you should.
A whole can of worms, man.
Or what? You risk so many things. Just unfollow lah. That's so much easier. And then say oops, sorry, Instagram unfollow me. And then forget to follow them back. Then that's it.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
I think maybe we probably need to chat a bit about the right way to cut people out of your life. Cutting friends out of your life. Is there a right way? Is there a right way to do it? I think there is. I feel like maybe this person, in hindsight, right, the way they approached it, the intention was there, but execution was just dumb. How would you inform a person that maybe you've decided to not renew the friendship contract with them?
Friendship contract.
It's a bit hard. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Like we have really close friends who are hospitable, right? And they would always open up their house for people to come and hang out. It got to a point where one or two people would come to their house unannounced, right?
Oh.
They would just start ring the doorbell,
surprise,
and maybe only one of them is at home. And then they come in and then they make themselves at home. They take a nap on the sofa, they bring the clothes in, they stay. Then they start bringing people over to stay.
Oh.
That's a bit much. But okay.
That's a bit much, right? But how would you approach that situation then?
That's not right lah. I mean, in that sense.
That's
what would you do, Jeremy? I need to understand how you would deal with it.
Jeremy looks like
you love having people over unannounced, right? So just walk me through.
I'm barely anyone who comes to my house, but I think okay, first you have to. It's okay. Think about it like Netflix accounts, right? You borrow your Netflix account, someone else uses it. Same concept, right? Principle applies the same. I think you need to talk to the person you first gave the permission to, right? Which is that friend. But in hindsight, that person also shouldn't be coming in and unannounced, right? And you gotta say I think, hey, bro, first is to chat about it. I think maybe some people don't know. Maybe they are a bit blinded. They might be like, oh, I think it's fine. It's okay to just use your Netflix account now. Take your time to think about what you want to say and say it out nicely and politely. And if they are responsive, then hey, you solve more the problem. But what if they're not responsive, right? What if they're like, oh, but hey, you always like that. I think there comes a time and place to really say if you do this again, that's not cool, man. It's infringing on my privacy. I want to have my own time. It's my house I live in, you have your own place. You want to bring your friends over. I think that's not cool. And if that comes a time, I think you can shut the gates on them already at that point, change the passwords, that by then I don't think it's a conducive space to make conversation already at this point. It might be time to just back out and set your boundaries, because it's your house. I don't think they have leeway to open whatever keys or whatever. I think it's time to change the door keys.
That's a great metaphor though. It's your house, it's my house. Why do you have a right to tell me that I should be following you? Right? I think that's the great metaphor to use in terms of knowing where your boundaries are. If you feel like no one can tell you whether they should follow you or not, you should not be asking or expecting people to follow you on social media. And social media is barely the worst example to use. I think just in life, right? You don't do people don't do things to people that you don't want them to do to you. That's
Yeah.
pretty much. Don't expect things of people that you don't expect of yourself as well, right? Yeah, I think
That's the baseline.
also that's a great red flag for friends. Like, I think if the expectation of a friendship is you gotta do this or we're not friends, I'd rather not be friends. I'd rather be friends with people that understand that, oh, this is just online stuff. I don't have to, I don't have to prove my friendship or whatever to you by following you. I feel that the understanding comes where, like this guy, the poor fella in this conversation that you all read, this friendship could have been preserved and just agreed that I guess our content doesn't line up. Yeah, a lot of my friends and I content don't line up. I don't like to watch horror films. I don't like to eat chili.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't be friends, right? Just find another, opportunity to be friends in another activity lah. So
just accept
for
the
anyone who's
differences,
lost
man.
friends, anyone who's lost friends because of this, I don't think that friendship was worth preserving. That's
For
that's
sure.
the unfortunate truth.
Yeah, even for me, I mean, like if I unfollowed you and you feel like we can't be friends because I don't like your
That's
stuff,
rough.
then it's okay. I will let you fly. It's alright. I don't
Let
mind.
you fly.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out if there is a way to unfollow someone gracefully, and maybe there isn't.
Quietly.
Not everything needs to be wrapped with a ribbon.
Yeah.
Just do it quietly,
Don't-
like a funeral.
Yeah, don't need to
Like,
announce lah,
don't announce.
Oh my gosh.
Don't announce. If they approach you, then you just say your piece. I think in this era, everyone feels that if you unfriend someone on social media, that means it's real life. Like, it's
That's
over.
it. It's over.
Hey, I unfriend my your cousins or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to. Like,
You don't have to.
but you're still maybe cousins. I'll be honest. I don't even follow. I unfriended my sister a long time ago. I don't even follow. I'm never friends with her on Facebook. But
Right.
we're still siblings. I'm fine. We're chill. Like that kind of thing. I don't follow on Instagram, so I don't feel like there's a need to like say like my sister still lives with me. Like we're still okay when we
Does
don't
it
hit
make
each
you
other.
any less of a brother? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Just maybe it's like I don't know. I don't think so.
But you see, I don't think like that. Like we should apply that mentality to like it's social media is real life. I think that's unfortunate truth that what like social media has revolved. Maybe in the past it wasn't so bad, but now it's like it's a thing everyone uses.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's the connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the currency,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the same thing with currency as well. You got to detach the value a little bit. See the human for who they are.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, if you think about it, right, the people who appreciate and understand and are toleratable, they would understand you if you need your space, your quiet, your peace of mind, compared to the people who are like, how dare you give up your sanity? How dare you put your sanity over our friendship on social media?
Oh, and over the number of followers. I
Yeah,
have.
how dare you relinquish the connection you have to following and enjoying my updates?
Oh, that's
now when you
that's
say
hot
it that
whack,
way,
man.
I think for y'all who actually do that, you're a bit cray. All right, so check yourself, y'all locals. But
Smelly.
okay, everyone just
Yeah, I think that's where I will decide
Ugh.
to wrap things up here for today's podcast. There's so many elements to this. I still respect person B, the recipient of the message from the viral post. Good job. The patience on that one is really stellar lah. I don't know how else to
Maybe not
comment,
so
Good
stellar
job.
because the person posted it on social media.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Oh yeah, true.
Also that
Totally forgot
also
about
that
it.
love it though. Okay,
it was a confessions page. Like it was a school's
Aiyo,
confession
that's-
page that went.
That's
just went
crazy.
off.
But hey, I think everyone just deals with things differently. The easier you are about it, the easier life is gonna be. So take it easy, man. This week's song recommendation is called Someday. It's by Raisa featuring Sam Kim. It's a hot song. It feels really good. You guys gotta check it out for yourself. I'm not paid for this. We just tell you when there's good music to be heard. Oh my goodness. If you guys want to get caught up with all the latest podcasts that's happening on the Table Talk, go over to our YouTube channel. You can see 4 podcasts happening there. And also check us out on Spotify because we are there. It's the Table Talk Podcast. We are also on Discord. So join us at discord.gg/the takeaway table. Get involved, get community, get friends who may or may not unfollow you. That's always going to be a gamble. I'm not going to lie. That's always going to be a gamble. But that's life. Stay woke, man. Stay safe. Stay clean. Any last words, Jeremy, man?
unfriend everyone to test who your friends are.
Oh,
Just
wow.
that's a good one.
I'm gonna say this is not. I'm not paid to do this. But I have a very interesting story just to wrap it up. Right?
Okay.
We have a good friend called Pei Yong. Okay, and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and he has. I tell you, he is exemplary for what you should be online. Right? So he's this super famous dude already. He's like #1 as a guy on the in the Chinese world. Right? To me, like he's the #1. Okay. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Just I only know him. So he's one. He actually, right, so he launched a clothing brand, recently. He actually took the time to message everyone that he was following, me included, to say that, hey Ming, I'm going to unfollow you for a short while because I want to promote my brand. So I think that was a very great marketing move, by the way, because he only was following one person, which is his brand. And dude, he did the due diligence. He unfollowed every single one and followed back again after his launch week. And I tell you, Pei Yong, if you buy some miracle you're listening to this, wow, you are amazing.
Actually, you know what? We'll clip this. This is the best part.
Yeah. So he actually did that. He unfollowed everyone that he did. But he messaged first,
Yes.
He dropped a message to tell you first that I'm following because, and he didn't say anything else. He himself came back and followed again after.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, even if he has a team to do it,
today,
honestly, that's impressive,
Today,
man.
he has 277 followers. Following, and that
This
means
guy's clocking 2 million followers.
yep.
no 785.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, close to that.
Close to 1 million.
But that's crazy. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel it was very thoughtful.
Yeah, it was very thoughtful. It was very well and properly done. That's
Good job, lah, Pei
That's
Yong.
my end story.
More people should be like Pei Yong.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's all I
actually,
got,
that's
guys.
good.
That's all I got. That's
But I think what you said earlier, why not unfollow everybody in your thing and see who your true friends are?
try it.
Just do it.
Because highly likely you're gonna get a lot of people unfollow you because you're not following me back anymore.
Yeah. So what we should do that. We should do a 100 to 0 test.
Then, it is what it is. Definitely, just like that.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Just like that.
We'll post our results on
I feel like this is the year that we're gonna start some challenges and then check in on each other after a week or after a month or something. But let us know if you guys want to see that kind of stuff. Otherwise, this has been the Tabletop Podcast, guys. Keep it real. It's Christmas time. See you guys.
Oh.